If you have been puzzled about your relationship with your ancestors, give this a listen. So sometimes people come to me with questions about connecting to their intuition, connecting to their spiritual side, connecting to their ancestors, connecting to something that is bigger than them. You have to know your why. You have to know your why. So I'm just going to talk about the ancestor piece right now. So ancestors were people. They were people. The same way you're a person, they were a person. They may gain reverence because they went through the life experience, they transitioned, and now they're on the other side. And that is worthy of reverence because it takes a lot to be down on this plane. Like, it's a real hard assignment. Every soul that's here chose it. Okay? It's not the easiest place to be, and it's not the only place to be. But anyway, so ancestors can gain reverence because they are ancestors, right? But you have to remember that these were people. Do you get along with every person that you have ever met? Is every person that you have ever met benevolent? Is every person that you have ever met, do they share your ethics? Do they share your beliefs? No. Now, because they are ancestors, maybe you do share these things. Maybe your family has strong tradition that you were brought up in. And the values have been consistent over however many years. That can happen, but it's not always the case because, again, we evolve through time. Our family structures tend to evolve. There's usually someone, particularly if you come from a family with gifts, most people who have gifts incarnate into families that are a little bit dysfunctional. And that may result in, you may be a descendant of the person who was the black sheep, right? And all of your ancestors may not want to deal with you. You may be a descendant of the person who kept the order in the family and created black sheep, right? Okay, so you have access to their knowledge if you are still enough, if you prepare the ground, as in you actually spend time and cultivate a relationship, and with your body, cultivate a relationship with yourself, your own intuition, right? You have to do that. And people don't like my answers when they ask me about these things because there are things that you have to do. There is work that you have to do. And people want a manual. But here's the thing. Nobody has... No one has the official manual. There are practices, there are traditions, there are religions, there are rites that we can take you through, but no one has the specific manual for you and for your exact family because we're not you. And you have to be willing to do your work. So a lot of people start wanting to cultivate this relationship with their ancestors because they want dial-in ancestor service. They want concierge service from their ancestor. They want to say, I want that. Can you go bring it for me? And you can have that relationship with your ancestors, but it usually doesn't start that way. You wouldn't walk up, again, remember these are people. Would you walk up to people on the street and expect them to give you the world without no preamble, no conversation, no relationship built? Hey, give me the world. And then get entitled or petulant when they don't do it, knowing that you haven't cultivated a relationship. There's the other end. They are not down here. They can offer you aid, usually in the form of other people, usually in the form of opportunities, usually in the form of nudges like, hey, turn right. And you might meet someone that way. Or take this opportunity. This would be good for you as opposed to this, go this way. But some of you too get really impatient in that relationship because you skipped out on the assignment they gave you however many months ago and you're still in place because it requires completion. Usually it's almost like I don't know if you've played those like mobile games. Like I'm thinking like Cooking Dash. You know how the daily goals change, right? They shake it up, but you have like daily goals and you can win gold if you complete the daily goal, but they shuffle around. There are tasks like that where it will shuffle around depending on how long, like, it's time dependent, it's situational, it's context dependent, et cetera, et cetera. There are tasks like that will shuffle around. And then there are tasks that are so central to your purpose that you're going to have to complete it. You're going to have to complete it. And there are things that you might have to eat when you don't. I think there's a be realistic piece here. And by be realistic, I don't mean limit your vision, because that's not what the universe intends at all. It's an ever expanding universe, so you can make your vision as big as you like. But when it's time to do your part, you have to be completely willing to do your part. And you may find that your part is less when you have that willingness and when you have that regular showing up. So when people talk about ritual and people talk about practice, there's a reason why people will like sit at their altar every day. Not to ask for anything, because you don't ask for something every day. There's a reason why people sit at their altar every day. They're cultivating the relationship. Have you done parallel play? I'm going to sit here and watch TV, and you're going to sit here and read a book. You have to parallel play with your ancestors. And some people don't like that kind of overfamiliar relationship. Again, these are people. There are ancestors who will give you whatever you want. There are ancestors who will go to bat for you. But you, again, have to be willing to do your part. I know my grandma, I can ask my grandma for anything. And she'll be like, okay, all right, boom. So you're going to go here and go here and go here, and I will do my part. Right? There have been times when I haven't done my part. They could tell me the way to get to the goal is to do this. And I just won't feel like it. I won't feel like it because I'm still me. There's my intuition, and then there's my ego. There's my healthy ego. There's my unhealthy ego. I work on the unhealthy ego. Healthy ego is necessary. But, there are times when you're just not feeling it. For whatever combination of reasons. You could be like, I know I had an assignment, and it's always been my assignment. They used to tell me, talk every day. You want to succeed in this life, just talk every day. Talk every day. Me, I'm not putting my face on a camera every day. I'm not sending out a message every day. I'm just not doing that. That's just not my vibe. And I didn't do it. I haven't done it. I know that it is part of central to my life purpose, so I'm going to have to do it. Do you understand? So it's a dynamic relationship that you actually have to cultivate like you would any other. And it's not dial an ancestor. It's not white glove. It's not concierge service. And you may have ancestors, again, who will give you whatever you want. You may have ancestors, again, who don't play about you. You may have ancestors who don't like you. And don't internalize that as you being less than. These are people. You don't like everybody in your family. I guarantee it. You don't like everybody you've encountered in the world. I guarantee it. Doesn't mean you don't love them. Doesn't mean you won't see them right. Doesn't mean you won't see them well if the opportunity arises. But you may not have a real affection or affinity with this person. And that's okay. It means nothing about you. You're different people. Also, I know for a fact some of my ancestors were horrible people. Horrible people. I know my genetic background. Some of those people had to be horrible people to do some of the things that they did. By my standards, today's standards, by their standards, in whatever day, in whatever context, maybe they weren't horrible people. But to me, we don't jive. If they want to help me and can ensure a positive outcome with their help, sure, I'll accept it. But it's a relationship like any other. And I don't want you to get confused. I don't want you to get caught up. And I want to talk about that why one last time. You have to know your why. Some people are very honest when you have to be honest when you're doing work, right? So when you're doing a work period, you have to know your why and you have to be honest. There are people who are very honestly seeking world domination and their ancestors are on board with that and they get to do that. They get to do that. That's team meeting, successful. But you have to be about your why. If you are afraid that your ancestors not liking you means that you're a horrible person or there's something defective with you, so you're trying to build a relationship that it doesn't actually want to be built, it's not going to work out. If you are hoping for your ancestors to provide you a manual other than what you've already been provided with, as in you have a blueprint, as in you have intuition, as in you have everything that you need for your next step always. You know enough for your next move always. If you get still enough and you listen and you ask the question and you're willing to do your part, you have enough for your next move always. If you are expecting them to lay out a 40-step plan for you so that you don't have to do the actual work of living, it's not going to work out. You have to know your why, and you have to be honest about that. Anyway, I had to say it.